Friends, today many countries around the world have launched many missions in space and have achieved victory by planting the flag of their country, but even today when it comes to space, the first person to step on the moon is Neil Armstrong. We all know that the Apollo 11 mission launched by NASA on July 16, 1969 achieved a major historic victory, but very few of us probably know that he was on the moon. The journey of taking a historic step was full of very rough roads, so let us know what happened with the astronauts sent on the Apollo mission in today's video, due to which many people are still unaware. Today's video is going to be very interesting. Must watch this video till the end. On July 20, 1969, 52 years ago, on this day, made history by taking its first step on the moon and opened the doors to the possibilities of access to space in the future. Apollo 11, launched by NASA, remained on the surface of the moon for 21 hours 31 minutes and returned back to Earth on the 24th of July 1969. Most of us only know about this story, but friends, as we said, very few people know about the 3 astronauts who went to the moon, in which something like this happened with Neil Armstrong, Edwin Buzz Aldrin, Michael Collins. Before going into the incident, let's go back in time and go back to the NASA office on July 16, 1969, where everyone's heart was beating fast as Apollo 11 was about to leave Earth and go into space. The 3 astronauts going to space had stopped beating, as many of you would know that Michael Collins was present as the pilot Apollo 11, while Neil Armstrong and Edwin Buzz Aldrin finally landed on the moon at 8:32 a.m. Apollo 11 was launched from Kennedy Space Center Launch Complex 39A. And the space travel of the 3 astronauts started. Just 4 days later it had reached very close to the surface of the moon, the lunar model from which Neil Armstrong and Edwin Buzz Aldrin left Apollo 11 and reached the moon. It was named the Eagle when everyone felt it was only that everything was going according to the plan. Only then it came to the notice of the 3 astronauts that due to some unknown reason, the Eagle was moving 4 seconds ahead of the scheduled time, which meant that now instead of the scheduled spot, the Eagle was going somewhere else. It was about to land at the same place, the result of which could be fatal. Just imagine, even if we get lost somewhere in an unknown place, we start to panic. Couldn't take much help of any kind. Now only a few kilometers were left between the spacecraft and the moon. Now these 3 astronauts were sweating due to fear that suddenly another problem knocked. The Apollo guidance computer, which it was very important, it suddenly displayed error code 1202. After all, what was the error code and what happened, which none of the astronauts had this information. In such a situation, Neil Armstrong immediately informed about this on the ground, but he was told to ignore the error code and proceed in his mission, although later it came to light that the computer system was overloaded due to more commands coming from the radar system and was displaying the error code. On the one hand, this error code, and on the other hand, landing on the moon in a few minutes. In such a situation, Neil Armstrong with courage and calm mind took the controls in his hands and landed the spacecraft at such a place that everyone's life could be saved. On July 20, at 8:17 a.m., a safe Eagle landed on the moon. Neil Armstrong named this place Tranquility Base. Neil had placed the first step on the moon after landing here, and the American flag was proudly raised. If after listening you are thinking that now this mission has been successful and now everything will be fine, then both you and astronaut are wrong. When they also felt that now the troubles are over and now they are successfully returning to their Earth. We'll start the journey. That then a unique thing happened, knowing about which you will get goosebumps, but before knowing about it, do like the video and do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Let's move forward. When he went back after hoisting the flag, he came to know that now he may never be able to go to the Earth and he is stuck on the moon. In fact, due to the low temperature on the moon, even after landing, there was pressure in the fuel pipe of the spacecraft engine and the moisture accumulated and it was now turning into ice. In fact, NASA was also about to give this command to its astronaut that before this situation becomes more fatal, the spacecraft should get off immediately because the pressure had increased so much that the spacecraft could explode at any time. Now just imagine if this happens, then it would be impossible for them to come back to the Earth and they would take their last breaths on the moon itself. But consider it God's grace or their good luck. After some time the ice started melting and due to that the fuel pipe came back. The pressure had become normal. After roaming on the moon for 2.5 hours and after solving the problems of the spacecraft, everyone had just breathed a sigh of relief that another problem had come to the fore. The switch in a part of the spacecraft had broken and fell down, due to which a circuit breakdown occurred and the power to that part had been cut off. Because it is obvious that he was not told the solution during the training. No one had thought of such a mess even in his dreams, and Aldrin tried several times to get out of this problem but without seeing any positive result. He thought of adopting a desi jugaad and put the pen in this hole from where the switch was broken, the work which could not be done after 6 hours of hard work. I was able to do just one pen in just 1 minute. Now the time had come when the astronaut had to leave for the Earth. The plan was that the Columbia aircraft, with the help of which they had to come back to Earth, had 2 modules, the first command module in which the astronauts were on board and the second service module in which the lunar surface the rest of the aircraft brought was luggage, and one had to go in different directions as soon as Columbia landed so that both would not crash with each other. But here his luck gave him another challenge. Instead of the opposite direction, both the modules started moving at a fast pace, one behind the other. Even if they came closer than each other, a big explosion was bound to happen, but despite coming down at such a high speed, nothing like this happened, and both of them landed very comfortably in the Pacific Ocean on July 24, 1916, and made the mission successful. Today, when we talk about this successful mission, mostly on our tongue and where only 3 astronauts, especially Neil Armstrong, comes, but friends, let us tell you that not only NASA but also 40 people from all over the world were involved in making this mission successful. Thousands of people played their part. While on the one hand we get to see the stories of the successful mission of Apollo 11 on the internet and hear about their journey of troubles, there are also many such stories which tell the moon landing to be fake. If you want us to make another video on it, then like and share this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel Science Talks so that we get the enthusiasm to put such videos. We will continue to tell you such stories in future, that too with complete facts.